All right, my guys. Here with one of my favorite case studies because this man literally changed his whole fucking life, and he actually comes from a very similar spot from me in regards to life circumstances. But Ricardo, if you could just give him a little bit of a background in regards to who you are, what you do, and alongside that, how old you are. Because it's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, so my name is Ricardo Vargas. I met you roughly like a year ago or so. Sorry about that. But yeah, my name is Ricardo Vargas. 21-year-old student athlete. So I literally just graduated from Cal Poly Winter. I'm going to be going back to my MBA. There we go. Sorry about that. It's because the audio is fucked up. Yeah, going to be going back to get my MBA. But yeah, I mean, it's like 6 months ago, I was working as a barista. Yeah, like 6, 7 months ago, I was working as a barista. Now I got two tech sales jobs and also got my first rental too.
You stacked another role. You have two roles now.
I got two roles now, yeah. So I learned from Sharif a lot and then got that first tech job literally in April, like after we got funded and whatnot. When I got funded, I basically had like no job, like no real proof of income. Like I was making like breadcrumbs, honestly. And then yeah, in April, landed an offer, and that's when I started. And then just since then, just been stacking up money and trying to work with you when it comes to Section 8. And yeah, it's been a journey. It was like a 6, 7 month journey, maybe even
Because
eight.
how do you like if you could scale rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, but like how do you feel that you are in regards to like a different person from fucking 6 to 7 months ago to now, bro? Like if you
Yeah,
really thought about it.
it's like I haven't really thought about it, but it's honestly been like a complete makeover. Like I was already I had a lot of like self belief and like self confidence in myself to do great things, especially being like a student athlete and whatnot. But once I like let go of some of those like limiting beliefs, once I like open up my mind to like what is like really possible, it just like I just have been taking off ever since then. And so I was already trying to do my thing when it comes to sports and just being like a student athlete. But after talking to you, like connecting with you, you got me connected with Sharif. Within I went from DM setting and working as a barista to yeah, stacking two sales jobs. Literally making like OTE 105K per year right now. So like basically like
Fuck you
then
like
that
that's like
what happened?
15 extra income, bro.
What was that?
You basically like 15 extra income fool, from a barista to fucking $105,000 and a rental.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just like it feels like it was a total U-turn, but at the same time, yeah, it feels like a total U-turn. Like even though I was already, heading in a pretty good direction, I just started like skyrocketing, working with you, working with Sharif.
Because how do you feel like it changed like your personal life aspect, bro? In regards to you being in a position where your business completely transformed, like, boom, having the textile world, boom, being the rental. Like, how do you feel like it changed your personal life?
Yeah, honestly, like it's changed my life like completely. Like I I just know so much more now. Back then, like a year ago, me would have been like, oh, like I don't know if I could do it. Like I don't want to get into this. It's risky. Like what if I mess up, etc. And then it's like present me, realizes that there's so much like possibilities out there. And it's like you always say, like if you have, if you give your word and you got credit, you can basically, and you have some huevos, you can do
You
whatever the
do
fuck you
whatever
want
the
in
fuck
this
you
world.
want.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, I definitely just like, I like, I don't know, the way I like to compare is like I was like in a box, and I was already, I'd say like the box was somewhat large, because I mean, I went on, like I graduated from high school, moved out of the crib, became a student athlete. So it's like I, managed to see different environments, different coaches and whatnot. So I was like already sort of shifting my paradigm. But like once I started working with you guys and like realizing what is really possible, even without a full time income, like I just been expanding, and that shit's like still growing and growing. And it's honestly super crazy.
Because how did it feel like once you actually like close on the property? Like, oh fuck, like this is mine. Like, you know, obviously you're in a position where it's remote, it's out of state, but like to be in a position where you're 21 years old and you own a fucking property. Like, how did that feel for you? Because it feels different for everybody. Some people like it really hits them and they're like, damn, I really did this. No one else in my family has done this. And there's some people that they're in a position where they're like hungry to go and get the next one. You know, like how did that kind of feel after you actually realized it was fun to close?
Yeah. Honestly, like it hasn't really hit, but it's like it hit a little bit yesterday when I was filling out the paperwork. Like I was nervous for that, and then when she left, and like we were posting all over social media, like congrats on the first friends and all that. Like I was hyped up. I was like, dang, like I did it. But I also like in the back of my head, I'm like, dang, they still gotta send me the title, and I had to wait till like the next day to receive that. So in my head, I'm like, I wasn't like fully celebrating. Damn, I don't know why it keeps messing up,
It's
but
okay.
yeah, I wasn't fully celebrating. Like I was like, okay, like we did it, but we're still waiting on that like last thing. But no, yeah, after we got it today, I was like, all right, like awesome, like on to the next one. It's crazy though. Just I haven't like let it sink in the fact that like I'm a 21-year-old homeowner. So like it's just crazy to me.
Because how seamless and like or difficult would you say it was like working with us, bro? Like in regards to working with me one on one, other people that we're connected with, in regards to like lender, fucking, obviously myself, and then like people like Sharif, Ali. Like how difficult would you say it was, bro? Because like I said, you went from like a clean slate. Obviously your box was big in regards to where you're starting from, but like how would you say it was, like in regards to punctuality, speed, time is getting stuff done? Like how would you say it was in like a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, honestly, it was like a 10, honestly, because I know you really stress being punctual, and so every time I was working with you, every time I got a text from you, I'm like, oh shit, like I gotta be on this, I gotta text him back ASAP. And so at first it was like, oh, like I'm not used to it because I usually like lag on people for like days and days. Like that's just me. That's how I grew up for like the last like 5, 10 years. But yeah, every time you send me a message, every time like Ali would send me a message, Sharif would send me a message, I was like on it. Like I had to be on it. Every time we, talk to the real estate agents, the loan officer, like I had to basically be as punctual as possible. And so it helped. Like it helped, and it made everything just so efficient because I went from literally like the bottom of the barrel, having like no income, trying to get funded, working with that team, and that process in itself also took a long time. Just because like my score wasn't where it needed to be. Like I was still solid. I was like 720, but my average age of accounts was low. So just like soaked everything up, worked with Ali, got funded, uh, and then yeah, started working with you, and then we just went through the whole process. You basically handheld my hand for me, um, and you provided like the thing that is like to me is like super invaluable. That is like worth the investment plus like way more. It's just the fact that you provide like that team, like you provide like that team. You provide like the lenders, you provide the agents in either state. You provide yeah, the funding team, BRM, like just whatever it is. You basically provide it, and it's like all I have to worry about is just sending them a text, and I'll ask you, like what do I send? You'll tell me, and then it's like I send it, they give me the response, I send it back to you, I send it like you tell me what to do, and then that's pretty much all I had to worry about. Like I was basically like the third party, and like everything was just super streamlined and super easy.
Because do you feel like this is something you could have done by yourself, or you feel like you needed that shit in place? Because some people could do it by themselves, like JD. But I'm saying like
Yeah,
you.
I feel like me personally, I don't think I would have done it by myself. Like I was interested in it like a year ago. Like I would watch Section 8 career videos and stuff like that. I was pretty close to going all in on his course, but by myself, I wouldn't have done it. And it's just like, I mean, you've talked about it too. Just getting into contact with real estate agents, getting into contact with property managers, getting into contact with loan officers. Like, just there's just a whole like village that comes with it, and it's like you can call 5 different people and still not know who you want to work with because like maybe they have this, but then they have these cons. So um, yeah, it just yeah.
Besides the team, what would you say is like the most valuable part you got of like the whole program, bro, in regards to There's obviously the modules, like I said, you even mentioned the team, but like learning how to fucking use business credit, like people don't talk about that shit, like the fact you can literally buy a house on a credit card. Like, what would you say is the most valuable thing that you like for you personally? Because everybody is different.
Yeah, honestly, everything is like super valuable. Like we have the group chat, a bunch of like heavy hitters. Like the 20-year-old or 19-year-old that who's a barber, how he got his rental, and it's crazy because like I was in the process of putting down offers and whatnot, and just having like others that are like-minded too, just doing the same shit. Like that's always helped me too. That's why I'm in the environment that I'm in because like being a collegiate athlete, you want to be surrounded with other individuals that are just like-minded like you that are trying to push. But yeah, that like the everything to me was super valuable. The community, the some of like the meetings we would have, or even some of the lessons. Whether it was on like the buy, borrow, die strategy, or it was on like getting an IUL for protection. Just like every little piece of information was like super valuable because it didn't like open my mind to other things, and then eventually we just started thinking like the rich, and we were pretty much headed in that trajectory. Like we're me and you are both 21. We're trying to build our own empires. Yeah, and even like the whole business credit thing too. Like it's literally crazy how you can use other people's money for as long as you want to, and as long as you're like strategic about it. You know what you're doing. You educate yourself on it. Like it's a hard concept to grasp because I'll be telling like my homies because they like ask me like, oh, how'd you do this, and I'll be telling them, this is what I'm doing, and in the future, when this runs out in February, I'm gonna transfer the limit, this and that, get another one, pay everything off, etc. Like it's a whole complicated process, but as long as like it's actually
Once you dial it in, you're like, oh shit, I can do this as long as I want.
exactly like once you understand it, it's like you unlock like a whole new different world. It's like it's crazy.
And what would you say the next 6 to 12 months, like, what do they look like for you, bro? Like, are you trying to buy another property, trying to run it back? Are you trying to, I know you're gonna, I think you mentioned to Sharif that you were gonna take you and your girl to go to Puerto Rico or something like that. I don't know if I'm not correct on that or not. Like, what do the next 6 to 12 months look like for you, bro?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to trying to do all that. So the next 6 months, by the end of the year, I'm hoping to get three. I'd be happy with two, honestly, just because like just where I'm at, and then with the funding or getting refunded would be like in February, January. So I'd be happy with getting two, but definitely aiming to get three. Yeah, going on a little vacation here soon in the next few weeks. That should be pretty fun. Just a nice little like graduation trip to myself, basically. Because I never had like my mom. I love her to death and whatnot, but she's not like these white people. That can fucking they'll send your ass to Tokyo for like a whole week. Congrats on graduating or whatever. So yeah, just kind of trying to do that for myself, and also utilize some of the, I guess, some of the pros that like changing my life, or trying to like capitalize on some of the pros of like basically changing my life for the last few months. And then what else? And then 12 months for sure. I'm trying to aim to have at least five, like minimum five rentals. Ideally with what I'm doing with like tech sales, that's possible. And then yeah, around this time, hopefully, like I can buy a CA like property here in California, and then just start either house hacking or doing FHA, maybe doing it the way that you guys did it, where I don't necessarily like live in it, or maybe I do live in it and then just start having like the assets basically pay for that. But yeah, definitely trying to like to buy a property here in California next year, and if not, then if I don't do that, then maybe I'll just buy a fucking Corvette like Sharif.
Shit, both of those sound nice as fuck, bro. But I'm glad you have those goals, and it's just only a matter of time until you hit them, bro. Time hasn't caught up, but I know that you're gonna hit them, bro. No matter what, adversity comes to you, you're gonna make it happen. I mean, you fucking like I said, you start from literally the fucking bottom. And I respect that shit a ton, bro, because there are a lot of individuals that will be in a position where they're similar to yours, and they're like, "Oh, my whole life's over." But you didn't have a victim mindset. You came in a similar position with me in regards to having a single mom, and that didn't stop you either. And alongside that, like, what would you say is like the final message to individuals that may be in a position where they were, where you were at, and they're still on the fence about getting a whole point of start, even if they're not buying a section rental, even just getting involved in regards to the network they have, someone like getting the tech sales, like what would you tell them, uh, either that individual or the past version of yourself?
Yeah, I feel like two things. Like the first one would be belief. Like belief goes a long way. If you believe in yourself, you believe in who you're working with, and you just gotta set your mind to it. It will end up happening in some shape or form. Because like honestly, like in the beginning, like I was skeptical, like everyone else, but I was like, you know what, like this is the thing that's gonna help me, and so I was like, I just believed in myself. Like, you know what, I'm gonna figure it out. And if I don't figure it out, then whatever, I get my money back. But I mean, I had like known you already for a long time that I could like that I trusted you. So like I like really trusted you, and so I knew it was gonna work out. So just like I had that confidence in you. But yeah, just belief definitely goes a long way, especially like getting rid of those limiting beliefs because like a lot of people think, especially when I talk about like Section 8, they're like, oh, like trap houses, this, and that. And it's like, yeah, but they have to, each year they have inspections. Oh, but you're housing, a bunch of drug dealers. Yeah, but they've got to wait, years and years to get their voucher. And I don't think they want to, lose their
They
voucher.
trash it. They can't. They gotta go. They have to get kicked out, bro. Like they don't want to trash it.
Exactly. And then, aside from that, the average stay is like 7 years. So it's um, like people already they close themselves in this box like, oh, I can't do that, I don't have income, oh, I can't get I'm trying to put my homies on like just building their credit for the future, for whatever the fuck they want to do, whether they want to invest or they want to buy a house in the future, whatever. And like because we're all like college athletes for the most part, they're like, oh, I don't have a full-time income, I don't think I can get a card. And it's like, no, like they're like, trust me, bro, like Chase doesn't verify shit. Like if you put under 200K, they won't even like bat an eye. So it's like just a lot of like limiting beliefs, getting rid of that, and just like pursuing and believing that you can achieve greater things. And then the second part to it, I mean, I low-key forgot because I was rambling for a little bit.
Shit, don't even worry, bro. But nah, I appreciate you fucking hopping on. I don't know if you want to plug your socials, bro, so people could fucking check you out. Show that obviously you have the property in place. Support your journey also of the D1 fucking college life. But yeah, you drop that, and I'll put it also in the description. But if people don't check the description, if you just want to say your username, so that people could check it out.
Yeah, so it's ricardo.vargas28. And then I also have like a little YouTube channel. I'm probably gonna run that up again, just because why
Well,
not?
fucking drop your YouTube channel name too, bro, and I'll put it. And then you can send me a link after, and I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, I think that one I think is the same thing. I think it's the same ricardo.vargas28, but I'll double check. If not, it's ricardo.vargas y2. But no, it's ricardo.vargas.28. So
But I have both in the description. I appreciate you, my guy. I'll wrap it up here. But you guys heard it from him. Like I said, you guys can obviously go check his page, see all this. Someone that I respect a lot in regards to this whole process, and I know it's only the beginning for him. We have 6 months roughly left in the year, and I know it's like another property. So appreciate you, Ricardo. I'll catch everybody that's watching this.